Dana Nuccitelli wrote a piece for The Guardian on July 9th, 2018. That's just a few years ago. The article was titled, "There are genuine climate alarmists, but they're not in the same league as deniers." It included these ridiculous lines from Nuccitelli, who's clearly neither a scientist nor a philosopher. Quote, "There are a few reasonably well-known individuals who could be accurately described as climate alarmists. The most prominent is Guy McPherson, who decided in 2002 that climate change would likely drive humans to extinction by 2030. 16 years later, we're now more than halfway to 2030, and now we've added on a few years to that. And the global human population has grown from 6.3 billion to 7.6 billion. It's quite safe to say we won't go extinct in the next few decades." End quote. Really? It hasn't happened, so it can't happen? This is a classic case of Sir Francis Bacon's idols of the den, sometimes called idols of the cave. And idol in this case is spelled I-D-O-L. The idea is to claim that something can't happen because it has not happened. An elementary course in logic or a small dose of common sense illustrate the silliness of such claims. Yet I'm seeing it happen very frequently, and I've begun to believe that it stems from what I call collapse fatigue. You're probably familiar with compassion fatigue. This concept applies especially to people who provide some kind of care for others. At some point, generally after several years of providing service, people grow exhausted, thus the term compassion fatigue. I'm seeing people claim that climate collapse cannot happen because it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened yet, so it can't happen. Never mind the millions of people dying every year from what the peer-reviewed literature calls non-optimal temperatures. Never mind the ongoing, accelerating loss of habitat for human animals on Earth. At the other end of the spectrum, some people are telling me, bring it on. These people are tired of the never-ending bad news regarding the ongoing climate catastrophe. They want the news to stop. Well, it will, but only in a horrible, end-of-life manner. I'm not a fan. This is reminiscent of a couple of sentences written by the desert anarchist Edward Abbey years ago. Quote, "The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time." End quote. Are you living fully? Are you prepared to die at any time? Because life can be snatched away at any moment. I know it's difficult to hear and read bad news every day. On the other hand, your ability to hear and read bring you enormous privileges that others lack. Yes, there's bad news. That's one of the problems associated with being alive during a mass extinction event underlain by abrupt, irreversible climate change. On the other hand, you're alive. It could be worse. And if the scholars writing peer-reviewed papers are correct, it soon will be worse, much worse. Be careful what you wish for. In the case of many of us, at the edge of extinction, only love remains.